When it comes to spirits in space, science fiction has established a firm tradition of specialty cocktails and social gatherings. Think of the cantina in Mos Eisley with its glowing beverages, or the Enterprise's 10 Forward and the illicit allure of Romulan ale, or the ever-famous pan-galactic gargle blaster from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, said to be like having your brain smashed out with a slice of lemon wrapped around a large gold brick. But what about actual astronauts? Do they drink? Can they drink? And what about alcohol on Mars or the moon? Twilight on Mars lasts about twice as long as Earth. That's a long happy hour. Cheers. Prost. Salud. I'm Mike Antares, and this is Space for Humans. Believe it or not, alcohol has been a part of space exploration discussions since the earliest days. NASA considered allowing astronauts to bring a small supply of whiskey for relaxation during long missions. However, safety and public relations concerns and the desire to maintain mission focus led to those plans being shelved. Even though NASA didn't want astronauts drinking while flying, that didn't stop folks from sneaking scotch and brandy on board Mercury and Apollo flights. Though it's said the bottles returned to Earth still full of something. When was the first drink officially consumed? During the Apollo moon landing, where astronaut Buzz Aldrin took wine in communion following the successful touchdown. The Russians joined in 2 years later as cosmonauts smuggled Armenian cognac aboard the Salyut 7, hiding it inside a wristband meant for tracking blood pressure. This kicked off a years-long tradition of cosmonauts using innovative means to smuggle bottles and flasks of alcohol on their missions, which eventually led to cognac as part of the Mir space station's astronaut rations. The Americans, however, remained dry. Well, allegedly. Talk to enough astronauts and you'll soon find out that the cognac tradition has made its way to the International Space Station, consumed in small amounts during special occasions, unofficially. We can neither confirm nor deny. Alcohol in space goes beyond the astronaut and cosmonaut corps. Beer is one of the oldest human traditions, and accordingly, scientific researchers are examining the effects of microgravity on the fermentation process and how yeast performs. Sapporo flew barley seeds to the International Space Station, had them cultivated, returned to Earth, and then later used direct descendants of that space barley for brewing. And can you imagine brewing beer in space? What a fascinating thought! Companies are experimenting with the conditions necessary for brewing, sparking interest in how flavors might change in microgravity. And it's not just beer. Companies have launched whiskey into space, and French winemaker Maison Mumm designed a special champagne bottle and vintage called Cordon Rouge Stellar to one day fly bubbly to the ISS. And that was no easy process. It required rigorous safety testing in microgravity and fine-tuned design to assure the Stellar still qualified as champagne and not, sparkling space wine. Not to be outdone, China sent vines of Cabernet, Merlot, and Pinot Noir grapes up to their Tiangong space station in 2015 to examine them in varied conditions of microgravity. As for the future of space spirits, there are currently plans for a Mars-based wine, simulations are in progress, a thorough examination of viable products from farming in space and off-planet, and what may be distilled from such knowledge. There are even efforts to create a sort of synthahol that simulates the effects of being drunk without actually endangering people. While we might not see a space bar or cantina anytime soon, this ongoing research showcases humanity's enduring connection to our long-standing social rituals of imbibing, even among the stars. It's not just about the science. It's about keeping the human experience alive, even in the most extraordinary circumstances. When you translate toasting into global languages, there are three recurring themes. The familiar cheers, a version of health or to your health, and a version of empty cup or dry cup. And since the idea of enjoying a drink while gazing at Earth from space is a captivating thought, and one that connects us all back to our shared humanity, I would thus like to propose a new toast for spacefarers. Ad astra ad salutem. To the stars in health. this episode has left you stirred and not shaken, make sure to drop us a like or comment. Share a round of episodes with your buddies and subscribe for more refreshing content.